Hey everyone, welcome to Wildlife Inspired. I'm your host, Scott Keys. Now, today I'm going to talk about how Instagram has raised the level of photography in wildlife and at the same time lowered it right after this. This month I've done a theme on social media, specifically Instagram and wildlife photography. I'm going to give you a couple of cards to check out. These are the pros of Instagram and wildlife photography and also the cons of Instagram and wildlife photography. I did those as separate videos, and this is the third in that series. This video is going to talk about how the bar has been raised for wildlife photography because of Instagram and at the same time been lowered. Now, before I get into this, and this will be a quick video, I do want to point out I've been doing this little featured thing over here. Each video, I'm going to put a new picture up there. I'm going to show you that picture now. This picture, by the way, is never been displayed on Instagram. I'm kind of holding that one off to the side, so you're getting to see it on YouTube. I may have put it in a story or two. Every year or every day on Instagram, I post just about every day. I post an image. In a year, 350 to 400 images I personally post on my Instagram account. Not all of them are great. I think most of them are pretty good. Not all of them are great. Each year of that several hundred that I post, I would say there's a handful that are worthy of print. And when I say print, I mean printing at size. So it could be printed at least 11 by 14, if not, 20 by 30. Of those 10, 20, 30 images that I think are worthy of print, probably a handful I think are really, really good. And this is one personally that I thought when I saw it and edited it was very, very, very good. It's one of the favorite images I've taken in 2021. So hope you enjoyed this one. Now let's get into how Instagram has raised and lowered the bar. One of the features that I mentioned in the pros video for Instagram was the massive amount of content in viewership that you can achieve. Because of that massive amount of content, what has happened is there are so many images out there that your images become harder and harder to separate from the crowd. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to put an image up here. Here we go. This is a indigo bunting on a sunflower. Now, 10 years ago, had I posted this image on social media, there's a chance this would have gone viral because at the time there weren't a ton of people post. I'm not saying I'm the first person ever posted an indigo bunting on a sunflower 10 years ago, but had I done it, this image probably would have done extremely well. If I post the same image today, well, I think this is a very good image. It'll do well. It's going to be good. It's going to be well received. It's not going to go viral. And that's because every day in July and August, literally multiple times a day, I will see an indigo bunting on a sunflower. And it's because of the massive amount of content that's out there. People find things. A little bit of it is copycat. So you see something, you like it, you go out and you duplicate it. Sometimes it's just there's so many photographers out there doing it, you're going to see the same type of stuff. So if I want to stand out, and how does that affect? So where does the story get into the bar being raised? If I want to stand out now and I want to shoot an indigo bunting in a field of sunflowers, better be special. If I want to separate myself from the crowd, if I want people to identify me as an exceptional wildlife photographer, or in my case, a bird photographer, I now have to raise how I do things. My edit has to be cleaner. My lighting has to be perfect. The composition has to be spot on. And it probably makes me want to be a little bit more creative with that image. So in that case, when you've got all of these images out there, what's raising the bar is really separating yourself from the crowd. And as the crowd gets bigger, it gets harder and harder to separate yourself from it. Because of that, there's this constant pushing of the bar to get higher and higher for individuals who are motivated to do so. So for those individuals that want to stand out and be different and be recognized as exceptional, they have to raise the bar for themselves. And again, the community now sees that bar getting raised. And as we copy the higher bar, as the copycats follow, the bar goes up again because now you have to separate yourself again. So in that case, Instagram, because of its massive content and the massive amount of images that are out there, that bar is constantly being pushed up for those that want to separate themselves from the crowd. Now, how does it apply the other way? How is the bar lowered? I talked in the cons video for Instagram about how people can get away with sloppy images. Talked about the 1080 format, 1080 wide, 1080 pixels wide. That's Instagram's format size. In theory, you can crop down to 10,080, throw it up on Instagram without a lot of compression, and people can consume that and appreciate it, enjoy it. In fact, I mentioned in the other video, I did this. I cropped an image to 1080, which I would never do, and I put it on Instagram. People loved it. There was no penalty for sloppy work. There was no penalty for poor detail. There was no penalty for noise. People just quickly consumed it, liked it, and the feedback I got from that told me I did a good job. That's where the bar gets lowered. As we post mediocre content, often in terms of the quality of the images. Remember, these are images at 1080 pixels wide. These are images that are probably not going to print more than 3 or 4 inches with any detail. You think about that. Who's printing a 4 or 5 inch image and putting it on their wall? You can't print that at 14 inches wide or 20 inches wide. You can't do it. It would look awful. But for somebody that's posting on Instagram, you could build an account full of images that are overcropped, weak in terms of quality, could never be printed, and you could be regarded as a talented wildlife photographer. And because of that, there's no incentive for you to try to improve the quality of those images. So for those people, the bar starts to get lowered. The reinforcement is, I don't have to be great. I just have to make it look pretty. So where the bar gets lowered often is in terms of quality, technical terms, and the ability to print those images. And for me, the test of wildlife photography still is, can you print it at size and have it still be more beautiful, or just as beautiful, if not more beautiful than it was when it was presented digitally? Just as a caveat, I personally have a threshold of what I crop down to. I crop my images, every image I do, I crop a little bit. And I'll go down as far as about 3,000 pixels in my head. That's going to allow me to at least print this image 8 by 10, 11 by 14, whatever, 20 by 30 if I'm lucky enough to get enough pixels in there. I have a standard that if I can't print it in good faith, if I can't print it, I'm not going to post it. So I posted one image ever, I think, on Instagram that was under, that I cropped under 2,000 pixels. And it was that one that I did last week for a social media experiment where I cropped it down to 1080. So does the bar get higher because of Instagram? Yes, because of the mass amount of content and the pressure to be different and better and more creative and stand out. Does the bar get lower because of Instagram? Also, yes, because we can get positive feedback for producing poor quality photography. And that's, I think that's the truth. I would like to know your opinions on this. Does Instagram raise the bar or lower the bar? Or do you agree that it does both? Put it down in the comments and let me know. This is a quick video today. Hope you enjoyed it. I do thank you for your ongoing support, and I hope we can continue to find inspiration in wildlife and maybe even on Instagram together.